Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Dwight Cyphers at Cyphers Gunsmithing in Dana, Indiana. And today is Friday, November the 10th, 2023. Marine Corps birthday. Happy birthday to all my brothers out there. Marine Corps birthday is kind of a big deal to us guys that were in the Marines. And, they say once a Marine, always a Marine. And that's because lobotomies are non-reversible. Anyways, kind of inside joke for us jarheads. Hey, let me talk to you about some rifle stuff and some ballistics. This gun came in the other day. This is a CVA, what do you call it? A Cascade in 350 Legend. Nice little gun. It's got a SIG 3x9 scope on it. And this is the second CVA Cascade rifle that I've worked with lately, and I'm just going to have to say, never been a huge CVA fan, but this rifle shot amazing. I mean, it just flat out hammered. I shot 3 shots into half an inch yesterday, twice out of that gun. I mean, what can you say? What Forrest Gump say? Stupid is, stupid does. Well, good shooters are good shooters. Doesn't matter what name's on the barrel. I had a guy called me the other day, and he trying to pick my brain on what gun I like, what's gun, and he was naming these high-dollar rifles. And I told him, I said, I'm really not that brand loyal when it comes to rifles, especially lately, because, I've been disappointed with some really expensive rifles and then been surprised with some inexpensive rifles that shot really well. So I just thought I would share a little bit about that, some of those experiences today. Anyways, this CVA Cascade, I'm telling you, 3 shots, and they were basically all touching 2 groups in a row like that. And what else could you like? And it's non-expensive scope at all. The gun just shoots. Let's see, earlier this week I also had a Thompson Center bolt action rifle and 300 Win Mag. Thompson actually didn't make that gun. It was made for Thompson Center by Smith & Wesson. Stainless steel. Had an okay scope on it. Had an older Nikon Pro Staff 7 3x12, and I was shooting the Federal 185 grain Burger Hybrid. Very, very good shooter. I would say I don't have my records right in front of me, but if I recall, that gun was shooting 3/4 MOA. And it thumps you. I mean, it's a light synthetic stock rifle, and it's loud and it kicks hard. But man, that dude shoots really good. So while we're talking about rifles that shoot good, hey, everybody's trying to always get the best caliber or whatever. And a couple guns I worked with this week. One was a 308 Winchester Howa. And the other was I'm not even going to tell you the name of it because I'm still dealing with a couple issues with this rifle. A very, very high-end rifle. And I think it's going to be fine. I just think we got to pick the right ammunition that the gun likes. But I wouldn't think a rifle that expensive should be all that picky. But I digress. But anyways, I set both of these guns up with a really nice scope. And I was crunching the numbers for my customers, and one is a 308, and the other is a 7mm rim mag. And so just offhand, if you ask me or anybody else, what's more powerful, what shoots flatter, what's better for long distance shooting, you're going to say, and I would say, 7 mag. But that's the whole point of this video, is it's just not that simple. The 7 mag, it really has to do with loads, and the further out you go, ballistic coefficient, or how efficient the projectile is more important actually than velocity, within reason, of course. But I've got my cheat sheets right here. I love the Hornady website. They've got a great ballistic website, and if you know what data to enter, you can get some interesting things to come up. So anyways, just to tell you what I got. First of all, comparison. 7mm mag. Sight height on both these guns is 1.8. Yeah, I know that's a little bit high, but we're trying to stretch these guns out, and that doesn't hurt anything. Muzzle velocity was 3,100 feet per second, 3110, with a BC of .359. The load was a Federal 7mm rim mag, 150 grain saw point, or I think they call it their power shock or something like that. But anyways, so get the 7 mag, a 150 with a muzzle velocity of 3,100 and a BC of .359, zeroed at 200 yards. Now we're comparing that to a 308 Winchester with a Nosler 165 grain AccuBond. Muzzle velocity is 2,800, but the ballistic coefficient is .475. And we sighted both these guns in at 200 yards. So let's compare them at 200 yards. Well, I tell you what, let's compare them at the muzzle first. Velocity versus energy. The 308 starts out at 2,800. The 7 mag is at 3,110. The energy on the 308 is 2872 foot-pounds, and the energy is 3221 on the 7 mag. So that's a big difference. But at 200 yards, where are we at? Well, the energy on the 308 is 2172, and the 7 mag is already dropped off to 2251, so not that much more. And that's the zero range, so we're not, the velocity and the trajectory is really not even relevant. At 300 yards, they're just about equal in energy. 1,864 foot-pounds for the 7 mag, 1,876 foot-pounds for the 308. So in other words, the 308 is actually at this point has a little more energy than the 7 mag. That don't sound right, but it is right. Well, you're not comparing apples to apples. That's right, I am not. So we're comparing a 7 mag with your everyday run-of-the-mill Walmart load, the 150 grain soft point. Federal makes that load, Winchester makes that load, Remington makes that load. And the whole thing, even though it starts out faster, it's a little bit lighter, and the BC is only 35.9. Well, the load for the 308 is a premium load. It's a 165 grain Nosler AccuBond with a high BC of 475. So literally, by the time we get to 300 yards, the 308 has already got a little bit more energy than the 7 mag does. And once we get to 600 yards, the 308 has over 150 foot-pounds more energy than the 7 mag does. Let's look at our velocities. Pardon me, not our velocities, but let's look at our velocities in a minute. The big question to a long-range shooter is, at what range does the round go subsonic? Because when the round goes subsonic, it gets a little bit hinky. A typical 308 load, generally, you're talking somewhere around the 800-yard line is where it starts to go transonic. That's where it transcends from supersonic to subsonic. But this particular load stays supersonic all the way past 1,000. At 1,000 yards, the velocity is still at 1,288, and 1,050 is what's considered to be subsonic. And the 7 mag is still supersonic as well. It's at 1,143. But while we're looking at the energy, or at the 1,000-yard line, the energy on the 308, it's 200 foot-pounds almost more. It has 608 foot-pounds, and the 7 mag only has 435 foot-pounds. Now, honestly, I think 600 yards for either one of these loads is about minimum for big game. That's where they both have 650 for the 308. It's still pushing 1,082 foot-pounds. And at 600 on the 7 mag, it's pushing 1,005. And then let's just look at the drop or trajectory. At 600 yards, the 7 mag is 68.9 inches low. And at 600 yards, the 308 is 75.6 inches low. So the 7 mag is still a little bit flatter at 600. But by the time we get to 1,000, the 308 is 331.8 inches low, and the 7 mag is 334.8 inches low. In other words, 3 inches of difference. That's not much at 1,000. And the difference in the come up as far as MOA is 32 MOA versus 31.7 for the 308. So what I'm saying is this: when it comes to long range shooting, ballistic coefficient is more important than velocity, especially if velocity is the same. That's everything. Now, the other thing to consider when you're picking a cartridge for longer range shooting is cost. I mean, if it's expensive to shoot and you're not, then the more it costs, the less you're likely to shoot it. Another thing is shootability. There's a huge difference in recoil, felt recoil, and noise from a 7 mag than there is with a 308. And then apples to apples if you have the same weight rifle. So basically, am I beating up on 7 mags? No, not at all. If you take a premium bolt with a high BC and 7 mag and a fast twist barrel, it will trounce the 308. Okay? But don't you think that a 308 has not got a place in long range shooting? It certainly does, and it's still a great cartridge. And, while we're talking about cartridges, has anybody seen the new 400 Legend? Winchester come out with a new one called a 400 Legend. Kind of splits the difference between a 350 Legend and a 450 Bushmaster. I think that dog might hunt. We'll see. We'll see what kind of guns come out and ammunition availability. Sometimes these gun companies come out with new cartridges and they drop the ball with the bullets and how they load it and whatever, or what rifle it's chambered in. So, hey, listen, this is a video totally for the ballistic nerds or people that want to learn or have an interest in this. But you don't have to know all that, okay? I'll tell you something. I set up a gun today, or probably this week earlier. It was a Browning A-Bolt 6.8 Western with a Burris Eliminator 4 laser range-finding scope. It sounds really high-tech, and it is. And it's talk about a really cool long-range gun. And, it's a little bit something, you need to know a little bit about something to set it up. But when it's set up, I mean, you talk about easy. Push the button, it lights up, and you send it where the light is. Now, it doesn't take into effect windage. You've still got to do that, but it does solve the ballistic problem, trajectory, or whatever, and it's fast, and it works good, and it was a nice outfit. And so, anyways, I like to try to keep my open mind, stay open-minded to new things, new stuff that's out on the market. And I'm kind of a rifle guy. It's kind of my thing. And but we also work on handguns, shotguns, muzzleloaders. I'm kind of known for doing that, and the Savage muzzleloader. Little gun shop up here by Dana, Indiana. And if I can help you with something, we sell guns, we work on guns, and give me a call sometime or stop in the shop and say hello. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. God bless you.